The carol Joy to the World was written by Isaac Watts, and he based the lyrics on Psalm 98. And we have looked at Psalm 98, so let's take a brief look at the song itself and how Isaac brought it all together. Verse 1 of the song reads, Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing. The first verse is based on the middle stanza of Psalm 98, where we are told to rejoice in God as King over all the earth. Here in the song, the whole world is encouraged to rejoice that Christ has come and to receive him as the King. The line, let every heart prepare him room, may be a subtle reference to Luke 2:7. She wrapped him in clothes and placed him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn. It may be one of the reasons the song became known as a Christmas carol to begin with. Verse 2 of the carol reads, Joy to the world, the Savior reigns, let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains repeat the sounding joy. The verse corresponds to Psalm 98, 7 and 8, where all creation is asked to join in the song, the fields, floods, rocks, hills and plains. In verse 1 of the carol, what's called Christ Lord and King. Here in verse 2 of the carol, he calls him Savior. Verse 3, no more let sin and sorrow grow, nor thorns infest the ground. He comes to make his blessings flow, far as a curse is found. When Adam and Eve sinned in the garden, God put a curse on all creation. We read in Genesis 3 where God told Adam, Cursed is the ground because of you. It will produce thorns and thistles by the sweat of your brow, and you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken, for dust you and dust will you return. Genesis 3, 17 to 19. Now that Christ has come, we are redeemed. Galatians 3:13 reads, Christ redeemed us from the curse of the law by becoming a curse for us. For it is written, Cursed is everyone who is hung on a tree. And when Christ returns a second time, the curse will be eliminated. There will be no more thorns infesting the ground, no more sin, sorrow, sickness, mourning or crying. We read in Romans 8:21, the creation itself will be liberated from its bondage to decay and brought into a glorious freedom of the children of God. And the final verse, verse 4 of the carol, he rules the world with truth and grace and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness and wonders of his love. In John 1:17, for the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. So what is this carol about? Joy to the world, and why? Because God sent Jesus into the world to be our Savior, and He is good and righteous, King over all the earth, and He is returning to judge over all the nations. Are you getting prepared for His second coming? If so, His word you will sing and read to obey. Be blessed.